Hello once again and welcome to my second video. I wanted to do this video last week. I will be trying to make a video once per week if I can. I decided that the theme for this next video should be along the lines of one of my favourite hobbies, aside from cosplaying, which is a serious hobby of mine now. I also act a hell of a lot. I enjoy it so much. I just spend most of my life in the theatre where I'm a member, so that is something I'd love to talk to you guys about. Basically, I've been a member of a amateur dramatics group called the Lindy Players, who are based in Whitstable where I live, for approximately 5 years, possibly coming up to 6 years now, I think. I did theatre studies. I didn't do it in GCSEs, but I did it in A-levels. Yeah, so from there it sort of stemmed my interest. So I sort of spoke to my dad and my mum and everyone and said, you know, I really want to get into the acting thing. So yeah, my dad got me the membership form. I decided to go for the first audition that came along from when I was a member. This pantomime was going on in January, so I figured, you know, I'll go for it. I'll see what's happening, I'll see what it's all about. And actually I got told that with the pantomimes, if you get involved with them, you get to know basically everyone there is to know in the actual amateur dramatic society. So I went for it and I got a part in the chorus, which was really fun. It's one of them things that I did go for a more principal part, but I'm actually glad I got into the chorus because it meant that I could mix with everyone rather than just have a separate role and just be on stage with a couple of people at a time. After that, I realised that was what I wanted to do as sort of almost like a full-time hobby, I suppose. This video marks the time in which I've just been cast in my 20th play with them. I'm just going to share with you what characters I've been and what plays, and maybe even insert some pictures here and there of my various roles that I've been in and the silly costumes I've had to wear. It's one of the best hobbies I think you can have, because not only does it help you socialise better with people, it actually brings out a more confident side of you. Even if you're outgoing and you're a little bit nervous, I'd recommend acting if it's something that you're actually interested in and you just haven't got into it yet. Definitely go for it. My list is as follows. Okay, so as I mentioned before, my first audition that I went to, the first read-through I went to, was for Sleeping Beauty, the pantomime. I got cast in that as the chorus. I wore this green dress. Up until that point, I'd always worn black, and I'd never worn a costume that I had to wear that was a colour, so that was a big shock to the system. But if you're a cheesy sort of person, if you can have a laugh and you have sort of slapstick humour and you're not too serious, then the panto is the sort of thing you should get into. My second play that I was in was called Old King Cole. The play itself is very, very slapstick comedy. It's just mad. It's absolutely mental. I played the part of cheerleaders or secret agents. Two very different costumes, but a lot of fun to be in. That was lots and lots of fun, that show, and if any of you have heard of it, you know how mashed up and crazy it is. My third play, my first proper speaking role, was a play called Be My Baby by Amanda Whittington. It's a fairly well-known play. It's set in the 60s in a mother and baby home. The play itself was really light-hearted. I played a character called Dolores, who was actually very naive. She didn't realise quite how she'd got pregnant. She was a bit like living in a dream world, and that was my introduction to speaking roles and, you know, whether I was confident enough to actually go on and do some more acting, so definitely had a good impression on me. Then along came the next pantomime. This was, all of them were over the course of 1 year. The next pantomime is Dick Whittington. I auditioned to be the cat and the chorus and a ratling, but unfortunately the cat had to sing and I can't really sing, or at least I definitely couldn't back then. But I got the part of a ratling who was one of 4 rats who followed King Rat around. I got to dress up in a very, very creepy ratty costume. And I still have my tail and my mask from that. I always try and keep a little memento of my characters. The 5th play that I was in It was an Italian play called Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I played the role of Virginia the maid. The play is set around a kitchen/dining room of an Italian home. I had to carry a lot of plates and things. I mean, being the maid in a kitchen, I had to carry constant things through. It was a big responsibility, even though I had very few lines and my character wasn't very central to the actual play. At the very, very beginning, we actually had real meat cooking properly on the stage, which was amazing because it created that smell into the audience where it really made them hungry. And I was chopping real onions with a real knife, obviously. That went right most nights, and then the night my mum came to see the play, lo and behold, I chopped my thumb. When you get onion juice on your thumb, it kind of makes you bleed more. So basically there was a cleaning cloth on the table, so I pretended to clean up onion while holding it, pressing it on my thumb desperately, trying to stop the bleeding. That was quite an interesting thing. I've never injured myself on stage before, and that being my 5th play, I'd never had the opportunity to injure myself on stage. My 6th show that I took part in was the Old Music Hall. It's basically a traditional, old-style mishmash of songs over the ages, around wartime sort of songs, very much around that area. Yeah, lots of fun. It's just a big choreographed singing extravaganza type thing, so they are lots of fun to be in, and I've been in more than one. I will mention them as I go along, but in that one I was a dancer. My seventh show was Jack and the Beanstalk. Next panto. I always go for panto, so you'll hear a lot of pantomimes in this, and I got into the chorus, so that was really good. And that was just a really fun show to be in anyway. Pantomimes, they always are, but each year they were sort of improving and growing on me. My 8th show to be in was the first show that I'd ever been in that was being entered into the Kent Drama Awards Festival. The KDA is a popular festival for amateur dramatics groups from Kent all over to enter their full-length plays, and that year Hotel Paradiso was the play being put on for it, and I got the part of a daughter of one of the quite main characters in the play. I was sort of the oldest child, and we went down in age, that sort of thing. We got to have cute little plaits and little straw hats as well. To go to the awards ceremony, and actually we won best play for that, which was really, really rewarding. The 9th show I was in is called the Summer Variety Show, and it involved a multitude of songs from famous musicals, and then various different sketches and skits from people. Some people sort of chose sketches from comedy shows. It gave me the chance to dance on my own, do a little interpretive dance on my own, which was really scary. I got asked to do it by the person directing all of the show. She said to me she had this idea for a group of people to sing Send in the Clowns, and she said she'd like for that to be sung, and while it's being sung, someone to dress as a Pierrot clown and do a sort of a sad little dance to interpret the song. So that was something I took upon myself to do. It was quite nerve-wracking because I sat on the stage on my own looking at this sort of plastic rose, like, ooh, and then I had to do this dance. So that was lots of fun because I'm not necessarily a dancer. I have a lot of fun dancing, and I can dance in a panto sense, but I've never been sort of trained in dancing, so to do it on my own on stage and try and make it look good, that was something that was quite fun. Coming around to the 10th show I was in, a show called Once a Catholic by Mary O'Malley. Mary O'Malley was a Catholic schoolchild, and she wrote about her experiences at this Catholic school. This play was about how Catholic schoolgirls at an all-girls Catholic school got on. I played the character of Mary Gallagher. She was a lot of fun to play anyway. She had a lot to say for herself, and I got a lot of words in that script, so it was a lot of fun to do. And that was a real team effort because everyone who played one of the Marys, we really teamed up. We had so much fun as a class. My 11th show was another pantomime. It was Aladdin pantomime. That was a couple of years ago. and I auditioned for the part of Aladdin and the part of Soshai, who was the Princess Jasmine's handmaiden. I went for it, but I got the part of Soshai. So that was a different experience, you know, interacting with the audience, getting sort of heckled at times, but that's always good in a panto, because then you get something to answer back to. That did happen a couple of times, so that was very fun. And my first principal role. My 12th show that I was part of was another music hall, the Old Time Music Hall. Similar structure. In essence, it was a different show, just to keep it fresh. We had new dance moves, and I was a dancer again. And I was also a magician's assistant. I was getting sawn in half, or someone was sticking a pole through my stomach, or I was disappearing as the box turned. The 13th show I was in was a show called Sing Out. It was purely Christmas songs and songs that people would be able to sing along with. It was done in the beginning of December, I believe. It was done purely so that people could come along, have a laid back sort of Christmassy, celebratory type evening. My 14th show was Treasure Island. It was another pantomime. I auditioned to be one of the 3 learner pirates, who were sort of young pirates being taken under Long John Silver's wing. He was teaching us to be bad, like angry pirates. I ended up getting a part of one of the 3 young pirates called Salty Samantha. Funnily enough, I based it on the character of Sam from iCarly, which is a Nickelodeon show which I have a guilty pleasure of watching. My 15th show to be in was a very popular play called David Copperfield. I'm pretty sure I auditioned for approximately about 7 characters, one of which was male. There was a role going for young David. Fair and square, I didn't get that part. All the other parts as they went along, I didn't suit the people they cast against them parts. I ended up being cast as, the only named character I was cast as was a maid called Janet. But she was Betsy Trotwood's maid, so I got to do a few things with that. And then I was a couple of other characters. I got warehouse boy, a schoolboy, so a lot of boys. So I've still got to fulfil my need to be a young boy. The 16th show I was in was during 2012. It was a show that celebrated 30 years of the Playhouse Whitstable. Basically just a culmination of a lot of their different plays they put on. I was in, did a little sketch that I'd done in one of the independent shows before with a group of friends, and I was in an extract from Once a Catholic. I was in the Pearly set, which was the London sort of music hall style thing. The 17th show I was in was put on the November just gone. It's called The Anniversary, and it was written by Bill McElraith. Basically the play revolves around a family of 3 sons. So the mum is the sort of, you know, the centre of the plot, and she just puts them through hell. I played the part of Shirley, who is the youngest son Tom's girlfriend, who is brought to meet the mum. I literally looked nothing like myself in that play. I wore white, really dainty sort of dress, and the wig that I wore was very 60s. It was a play set in the 60s. It had a fringe just about like, and it was platinum sort of blonde. It was amazing. She has most of the comedy coming along with her, because whether it's her being picked on that's funny, or her reaction to something, or something she says to the mum to stick up for herself or her boyfriend Tom, I was really honoured to be picked for that role. The 18th play that I was in was yet another pantomime, the most recent pantomime that went on in this January just gone. From the previous panto, I'd heard that the next pantomime was going to be Mother Goose. The moment I heard the word goose, I thought, holy moly, I really, really want to audition to be the goose. And I got the part. Regardless of the fact you don't get any lines, and you don't really get to be part of much, and you're not on the stage much, to make an impact to kids in that way, you know, like walk on stage, everyone either laughs or they clap or they're like overwhelmed with the fact that you're in a giant goose outfit. I was absolutely boiling every night, but the sweat was totally worth it. And I got to do Gangnam Style in a goose outfit. I mean, not many people can say that they have well, that they have been that or seen that even. 2 weeks worth of being a giant sweaty goose was a lot of fun. And so it brings round to the present day, which is the 19th show that I'm in. The show is called Enjoy. It's going on in a couple of weeks, actually. I auditioned to be a character called Linda. Upon not getting the part, the play also involves a lot of people who come and go that are council officials, and they come in and they're sort of studying the house, they're taking notes, they're taking measurements, they're doing pictures of the house. I'm the one who comes in and I take photos of the shape, the size of the house, the style of the windows, the furniture, the mantelpiece, the kitchen, things like that. That's the play I'm in currently. Yeah, it seems to be going really well, so that's going to be fun. And this brings me to my 20th play that I've been in. It is possibly one of my biggest achievements to date, acting-wise, you know, amateur acting. The play that we are doing is Macbeth. I thought, well, I'd love to be in a Shakespeare play. It would be one of the best things. So I went for the audition on the Sunday, which was a week ago, the Sunday just gone. I got a call back on Monday, and that was for Lady Macbeth. I ended up learning Act 2, Scene 2, which was the part that we were set, and I got the phone call on Thursday night, and I got the part of Lady Macbeth, which I literally couldn't believe. I did actually squeal over the phone, which I'm, you know, I kind of apologised for that, but I was so excited. This was what spurred me on to do a list of the plays that I've been in, and I'm really proud of, you know, the characters that I've been able to play, and that the directors have had enough faith in me not to make their play a total shambles and a total wreck. I've never stopped enjoying acting. I think that if anyone is considering going for acting, and you've got the, you know, you feel like you've got the want or the desire inside you, definitely join your local theatre. I would recommend it wholeheartedly. Thank you so much for watching my video. I'm really glad that you've watched it till the end. I hope that I've inspired you maybe to take up acting. It's one of them things I think everyone should experience, unless you really, really hate it. Yeah, just go for it. Just act. Act, act, act. Act your little hearts out. And break a leg.